So guys, very good morning. Chalo, come back. We're discussing one of the important chapters for all competitive exams, including UPSC General Studies Prelims, not for mains, even for APPSC and TGPSC, including Karnataka Public Service Commission, that is prehistoric cultures. In the previous session, we made efforts to understand. So what was the criteria based on which the respective cultures got classified into Paleo, Meso, Neo, Chalco and Megalithic? Can anyone? What is the criteria? Based on tool making technology, not based on chronology, right? So we have to learn for about 5 components: Paleo, Meso, Neo and Chalco. So Paleo, Meso, Neo, Chalco, we are going to learn under a chapter called prehistoric cultures. Once we're done with prehistoric cultures, Indus Valley Civilization, pre-Mauryan age, Mauryan age, post-Mauryan age, Deccan and South Indian history Degara, we are going to learn megalithic cultures, right? So we have started with Paleolithic, right? So what is the span of Paleolithic cultures? Earliest to 10,000 BC, right? Manam oka proforma raskunnam. So developments followed by important sites and all. And we did involve in developments, XYZ developments we have learned as part of Paleolithic cultures. Now we've also learned important sites, right? So start with Mesolithic cultures. So what's the name of the scholar who was responsible for classification of prehistoric cultures into 2 parts, that is age of metals and age of Stone Age cultures and Metal Age cultures? Robert Bruce Foote, right? So, Indapayada, Robert Bruce Foote, the father of prehistory or Indian prehistory anthem. It was he who classified the entire prehistoric cultures into 2 parts, Stone Age cultures and Metal Age cultures. Can anyone, what are these Stone Age cultures? Examples from Raskuna, what are these Stone Age cultures? Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, right? The 3 components. As I was telling, we found previous question, prelims lo bhanga odd one out. 3 cultures from Stone Age, 1 from Metal Age, 3 from Metal Age, 1 from Stone Age, right? Now come to, what are the Metal Age cultures? Very good, Anna. Chalcolithic, Silverlithic, Chalcolithic followed by Bronze Age, followed by Iron Age. Chalcolithic, copper, right? Bronze Age, Harappan cultures. Bronze Age, otherwise called as Indus people, are Harappan cultures. When it comes to Iron Age, otherwise called as Aryan cultures, right? Be good at this. So Paleo, Meso, Neo. We were discussing Stone Age cultures. We did complete Paleo. Start with Mesolithic cultures. So this is all the stuff which we have learned in the previous session. Start with Mesolithic cultures. Koncham artham cheskuntu raskondi. Meso, it's a Greek term. The English version, middle. Lithic, Greek term, the English version, stone. So, Mesolithic cultures, otherwise called as Middle Stone Age cultures. Madhya Rati Yuga Samskrutulo undam. Mesolithic cultures, otherwise called as Middle Stone Age cultures. Middle Stone Age cultures. So, the span of Middle Stone Age cultures, that is 10,000 BC, 10,000 BC, hyphen 5,000 BC, oblique 4,000 BC. ikkada manam chinnaga koncham artham chesukoli. As we referred, the respective cultures got classified not on the basis of chronology but on the basis of tool making technology. What does that mean? Chronology is not at all the criteria. Just have an idea, that is chronology. When it comes to, then what is the criteria for classification of the cultures and about tools? Take an example of Paleolithic cultures. The tools of Paleolithic cultures were very rude, very primitive. By the time you go to Mesolithic cultures, we found they are smaller in size and sharper in nature. Mesolithic tools. By the time you go to Neolithic tools, we found further sharper, further polished in nature. So based on tool making technology, not based on chronology and right. Now have sabedi, that is developments. First we discuss developments followed by important sites. Okay, proforma. Chala easy na. Developments. To begin with, domestication of animals. As well as developments are concerned, you shall keep in mind, you shall understand the developments and you shall write and you shall cross check with previous developments. What are the previous developments? We might have learnt as part of Paleolithic cultures, right? Akkada developments to ikkada cross check cheskoli, right? So start with domestication of animals. When I say domestication of animals, ఒక చిన్న hyphen తీసుకోండి for your convenience, that is major profession and రాసుకోండి. Major profession or economic subsistence. Domestication of animals. You also call cattle rearing. పశుపోషణ ఆర్థిక వ్యవస్థ అంటాం తెలుగులో, right? Domestication of animals. Chalo, let me pose the question. What is the major profession of Paleolithic people? Hunting and gathering. Now, ikkada oka chinna element gurtupeట్టుకోవాలి. When I say the major profession of Mesolithic people, domestication of animals, besides domestication of animals, the people were also associated with hunting and gathering. They were also associated with hunting and gathering. అంటే ఏంటి? Though they went for new profession, it does not mean they abandoned the older profession. What is the older profession? Hunting and gathering. We didn't find only to Mesolithic. Let me tell you, we are going to find the same element as part of Neolithic cultures. By the time you go to Neolithic cultures, the major profession of Neolithic cultures happen to be agriculture. The major profession, the economic subsistence of Neolithic people happened to be agriculture. So major profession. Besides agriculture, we found the second, that is domestication of animals, followed by hunting and gathering. Ante enti? Though you are moving forward, but you did not forget your roots or actual profession. That's an aroma of Indian history. Forget about that. Even today we follow the respective cultures. Agriculture, domestication of animals, even hunting and gathering, especially tribals, they are associated with hunting and gathering. Not Salman Khan and all. Okay, right. Samazar Kishara Kafi. Right, domestication of animals. Second one. In domestication of animals, దగ్గర ఒక చిన్న లైన్ రాసుకోండి. They were also followed hunting and gathering activities and రాసుకోండి. They were also followed hunting and gathering activities. Next, another development. The complete emergence of Homo sapiens sapiens. The complete emergence of Homo sapiens sapiens. The complete emergence of Homo sapiens, which is on board. Homo sapiens sapiens. For your convenience, under Homo sapiens sapiens, దగ్గర ఒక చిన్న arrow mark తీసుకోండి. The modern thinking man అని రాసుకోండి. The modern thinking man. Modern thinking man. Then how about in Paleolithic cultures? Modern man. Ikkada modern thinking man. Emergence of Homo sapiens and sapiens. One more. Another development. Emergence of pottery. Another major development. In fact, this particular development, this particular art, like the broad revolutionary change in the very evolution of human history, emergence of pottery, దాని కింద ఒక చిన్న arrow mark తీసుకోండి. That is handmade pottery అని రాసుకోండి. Handmade pottery. చేతితో తయారు చేసిన కుండలు అంటాం. Handmade pottery. Handmade pottery. Look at the board. Once we're done with developments, I'll be going to speak important sites because we're following a proforma. For exam point of view, when we understand important sites of Mesolithic cultures, Bagor, which comes in Rajasthan, Sarai Nahar, which comes in Belan Valley, UP Uttar Pradesh, Chopani Mando, once again Belan Valley, Uttar Pradesh, Sanganakallu, Badal district of Karnataka state, Renigunta, Andhra Pradesh. Inka manaku chala sites unnai. These are the major sites. Right? So when we observe these sites, concept artham chesukovali, when we observe these sites, they were located away from river valleys, unlike Paleolithic cultures. We have learned Paleolithic cultures or Paleolithic people were forced to live on two, river valleys and caves. Good, river valleys. They were forced to live in river valleys because animals come so that you can easily hunt. And second one is caves, Starbuck and supply, the natural caves, right? And we found some sort of hazards, we found some sort of mishaps happened, outcome over a period of time. It's all about necessity of mother of invention. So the people learned the art called art of making pots. Storage of what? Water. Storage of water, right? So the storage of water or emergence of pottery, to be specific, handmade pottery forced people to live away from river valleys. I take an example of Bagor. Bagor located in the banks of river Kothari. When I say on the banks of river Kothari, not near river, for about 30 kilometers away from Kothari. Apply the same towards Sarai, Nahar, Belan Valley, Chopani Mando, Belan Valley, Sanganakallu and others. Enduku is sites located away from river valleys annappudu, the credit goes to this particular development. Handmade pottery. My previous question chusinattlaithe handmade pottery, Mesolithic cultures, wheel-made pottery we are going to learn, that is Neolithic cultures, wheel-made pottery with paintings, Chalcolithic cultures and discoveries, right? It's all about. Next, emergence of artificially constructed houses. Emergence of artificially constructed houses, another important development. Emergence of artificially constructed houses. So, Paleolithic cultures lo bhanga we have learnt natural houses, otherwise you call them caves. Ikkadenti artificially constructed houses. Once again the credit goes to pottery, because pottery forced people to live away river valleys, and the moment you talk about away from river valleys, you have to have your own abodes, you have to have your own constructions. So we found some sort of thatched houses, some sort of artificially constructed houses, not naturally constructed houses, or man-made constructions you call. Ante ఈ development, especially emergence of artificial houses, constructed houses and living away from river valleys, ఈ two credits కూడా మనకు pottery కిందకి వెళ్తాయి, right? It's all about as far as developments of Mesolithic cultures are concerned. Now, one more development you can write down. One more development under Mesolithic cultures. Emergence of primitive religious beliefs. Emergence of primitive religious beliefs. Emergence of primitive religious beliefs. For your convenience, దాని కింద ఒక చిన్న arrow mark తీసుకోండి. Kachhai Burai, which is on board. Kachhai Buri, which is on board. Kachhai Buri. Bracket lo. Orissa అని రాసుకోండి. Kachhai Buri. The evidence of worshipping mother goddess discovered. The evidence of worshipping mother goddess discovered. Right, it's all about have sponsor building, that is important sites. Important sites of Mesolithic cultures. For about 250 sites discovered throughout what do we call the length and breadth of Indian subcontinent, but hardly half a dozen sites we're going to learn. To begin with, Bagor, which is on board. Bagor. చిన్న హైఫన్ తీసుకోండి. Near Kothari Valley. Kothari, it's the name of the river which comes in Rajasthan. Near Kothari Valley. Bagor. One or two archaeological findings from Bagor. Bagor, like located near Kothari Valley, Rajasthan. One or two archaeological findings. The largest site of Mesolithic cultures. The largest site of Mesolithic cultures. One more archaeological findings. The artificially constructed houses discovered. The artificially constructed houses discovered. The artificially constructed houses discovered. One more, the evidence of domestication of animals. The evidence of domestication of animals. The evidence of domestication of animals. So these are the important archaeological findings which we found from Bagor, one of the major sites of Mesolithic cultures located near Kothari Valley, which comes in Rajasthan. One more, besides Bagor, you can write down one more, Langhnaj, which is on board. Langhnaj, Langhnaj, Langhnaj. చిన్న హైఫన్ తీసుకోండి. సబర్మతి వ్యాలీ, సబర్మతి వ్యాలీ, గుజరాత్. One or two facts, artificially constructed houses. Artificially constructed houses. Next, Sarai, Nahar, which is on board. Sarai, Nahar, Belan Valley. Sarai, Nahar. One or two archaeological findings. Handmade pottery discovered. చేతితో తయారు చేసిన కుండలు అంటాం. Handmade pottery discovered. Next, Chopani Mando, once again Belan Valley, UP, Uttar Pradesh. Chopani Mando. Belan Valley, UP, Uttar Pradesh. One or two archaeological findings from Chopani Mando. Large scale bone tools discovered. Large scale bone tools, ఎముకలతో చేసిన పనిముట్లు. Large scale bone tools discovered. And one more archaeological finding from Chopani Mando, handmade pottery. Handmade pottery. Next, Sanganakallu, Ballari district of Karnataka state. Sanganakallu, Ballari district of Karnataka state. One or two archaeological findings. Domestication of animals. Domestication of animals. One more. The primitive worship of Mother Goddess. The primitive worship of Mother Goddess. Next, Renigunta, the erstwhile Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh. Renigunta, the erstwhile Chittoor district. Same, domestication of animals and handmade pottery. Domestication of animals and handmade pottery. And another important site to be learned, that is Bhimbetka. The previous session we have learned Bhimbetka. Bhimbetka happened to be the multicultural site. Bhimbetka. Bhimbetka, which comes in Hoshangabad district of Madhya Pradesh. It was a multicultural site and Raskundam. Multicultural site. And one more point you can write down under Bhimbetka. The prehistoric paintings discovered in Raskund. The prehistoric paintings discovered, Bhimbetka, Madhya Pradesh. చూడు, జనరల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ రాసుకో, జనరల్ లైన్ రాసుకో. Compared with Paleolithic tools, compared with Paleolithic tools, compared with Paleolithic tools, the Neolithic tools were compared with Paleolithic tools, the Mesolithic tools, I'm sorry, compared with Paleolithic tools, the Mesolithic tools were smaller in size. The Mesolithic tools were smaller in size. The Mesolithic tools were smaller in size and sharp in nature. Smaller in size and sharp in nature. ఈ స్మాలర్ ఇన్ సైజ్ దగ్గరకు వచ్చి నేరో మార్క్ తీసుకోండి. దే వ్యారీ ఫ్రమ్ 1 centimeters to 8 centimeters. They vary from 1 centimeters to 8 centimeters. And one more fact as far as tools are concerned, they were also called as pygmy tools. They were also called as pygmy tools. They were also called as pygmy tools, and they were made of a typical stone called chert. They were also called as pygmy tools, and they were made of a typical stone called chert, which is on board. Chert. What is the stone used by Paleolithic people in making tools? Quartzite. ఈ టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్స్ను గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. మనం అక్కడ రాసుకున్న ప్రొఫార్మాలో ఇంపార్టెంట్ డెవలప్మెంట్స్, ఇంపార్టెంట్ సైట్స్ అండ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్స్, రైట్? సో Paleolithic people used a typical stone called quartzite. When it comes to Mesolithic people, chert. So nature of this stone అర్థం చేసుకున్నప్పుడు quartzite happen to be very rough stone, rude. When it comes to chert, it's an I won't say soft stone, but like you can easily cut this stone. That is the reason we found smaller in size and sharper in nature antam. And one more fact related to tools. For the first time, the Mesolithic tools discovered. For the first time, the Mesolithic tools discovered in 1867. For the first time, the Mesolithic tools discovered in 1867 at a place called Vindhyan Ranges. In 1867, at a place called Vindhyan region, by Dr. Carlyle, which is on board. At a place called Vindhyan region by Dr. Carlyle, the British archaeologist. Dr. Carlyle, the British archaeologist. ఈ కార్లైల్ కింద కొంచెం నేరో మార్క్ తీసుకోండి. ఇట్స్ ప్రీవియస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఆఫ్ గ్రూప్స్. He branded these tools as microliths. He branded these tools as microliths, oblique pygmy tools. Microliths, oblique pygmy, P-I-G-M-Y, small. Microliths, oblique pygmy tools. The question asked in this way, which of the following scholars branded the Mesolithic tools as pygmy or microlithic in nature? It was Dr. Carlyle in 1861, one of the English archaeologists or British archaeologists. Right, it's all about Mesolithic cultures. So these are the rock shelters of Bhimbetka. Bhimbetka happened to be an important archaeological site for all cultures, even for Indus or Harappan cultures. Bhimbetka, especially we found massive rock paintings we're going to learn under prehistoric art. It's all about Mesolithic cultures.